Mackenzie Alcorn was there all weekend and has the recap of the historic weekend.
A brand new stadium and an opening series win as the Tide pushes past Maryland, taking the first series of the season 2-1. Friday night was the grand reopening of Sewell-Thomas Stadium. Jeffrey Bramblett started on the mound in front of 5,867 fans.
There it is, swing and a miss, strike three.
Jeffrey really gutted it out tonight. You know, he got in a couple rough spots there, but made big pitches to get out of it.
But the star of the night was freshman Chandler Taylor, who hit a solo home run, his first collegiate at-bat.
There's a fly ball to deep right field. Papio back, so long. A home run for Taylor, and Alabama leads Maryland 1-0 to the bottom of the first.
The Tide went on to win 3-1, but a big part of that win were the fans enjoying the brand new stadium. Alabama fell 9-5 to Maryland on Saturday after a 6-run fourth inning by the Terrapins.
You know, it's not that often you see 3 two-run homers in the same inning.
It proved to be a weekend for freshmen, with Kobe Vance going 4 for 5 with a solo home run, 2 RBIs, 1 run scored, and a stolen base in just his second game.
You know, both Chandler and Kobe, I mean, they're going to be forces in the league. I mean, and I don't think it's going to be in a year. I think it's going to be right now.
Sunday was the rubber match and the final game of opening weekend. Nick Eichholz was the starter on the mound, throwing 6 innings and giving up just 1 run.
I thought he had great command. You know, first of all, he was throwing really hard, really good movement, stayed in the bottom of the strike zone.
A single and 2 doubles in the bottom of the 8th would ultimately put the Tide up 5-1, giving Alabama the game win and the series win over Maryland. From Sewell-Thomas Stadium for Tide TV, I'm Mackenzie Alcorn. A surprising move to many fans, but one that needed to be made. Cubs manager Joe Maddon starting Addison Russell in place of 3-time All-Star Starlin Castro. Maddon told the media earlier that it was not an off day for Castro, but keeping Kyle Schwarber in the lineup and bats hot is exactly what the Cubs need as they push forward in the race for a wild card spot. Welcome to This Week at Alabama. I'm Mackenzie Alcorn. It's opening night at the New Joe this Friday for the Alabama baseball team, and the weather forecast is predicting a beautiful evening. It's Alabama versus Maryland for the first 3-game series of the season. Friday's game will begin at 6:30 p.m. Central, and tickets start at just $5. For more information, visit SewellThomas.com. The Alabama men's basketball team is on a roll, winning their last 4 SEC games in a row. The Tide is back at it on Saturday against Mississippi State, and tickets are going fast. Order yours now on RollTide.com. Women's tennis will be back in action on Sunday against Northwestern. Come on out to the Alabama Tennis Complex to cheer on the Tide starting at 11 a.m. And the Alabama swimming and diving team is competing at the SEC Championships this week. Follow updates on RollTide.com. Just a reminder, next Tuesday the women's basketball team is back home to face number 2 South Carolina. It's National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and tickets are just $5. Thanks for watching This Week at Alabama. I'm Mackenzie Alcorn, and Roll Tide. It's rivalry week as Alabama Gymnastics takes on the Auburn Tigers this Friday night. Although this is the second time the teams will be meeting this season, head coach Dana Duckworth says she doesn't worry about all the rivalry chatter. She just wants her team to stay in what they call their Bama bubble. Carly back in Florida tonight, her favorite event. Will we see her in more events coming up? The team now has the rest of the weekend off and a couple days next week. And Coach Hart told me that he's giving the girls a couple days off, not only to rest their bodies, but to rest their minds before they take on Texas A&M and College Station Friday night. The loss at Arkansas and a win against Florida in the 2015 season. A foreshadow to what's going to happen this Friday night in Gainesville? Only time will tell. Alabama takes on the Florida Gators this Friday night. The buses are loaded and the girls are packed as Alabama heads into their first weekend facing 2 SEC opponents, Ole Miss and South Carolina, on the road. Now, this is your first game in 7 days. Did that long break have anything to do coming back with this win tonight? How special was it for Lauren to get her first career 10 on senior night? It's a day for all ages as Alabama hosts their first annual alumni game here at the brand new Sewell-Thomas Stadium. Former Alabama players and their families had the opportunity to tour the stadium and take BP before the alum took on the 2016 team. Despite the chilly temps outside, it was hot in Coleman Coliseum as Alabama Gymnastics took on SEC opponent Arkansas. And a week after facing those Florida Gators, the Alabama Gymnastics will be hosting their 12th annual Power of Pink meet here at Coleman Coliseum against Kentucky at 6:30 on February 5th. Kat, your coach just told me that you carry the team offensively. How does that push you as a player? Alabama baseball took on Maryland tonight, so here's a quick game recap. Jeffrey Bramblett started on the mound for the Tide, throwing 5 1/3 innings and pitching out of trouble in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings. But the big story tonight, freshman Chandler Taylor, his first career at-bat, a solo home run to right field. He would go on to add an RBI single in the 6th, which would add an insurance run for the Tide. The Tide won the game tonight 3-1, and we'll see what they can do with this Maryland team tomorrow night. Alabama baseball had their first midweek game this week and came out on top against Nicholls State. And the hot topic right now seems to be the freshmen. They had a great series against Maryland this past weekend and again tonight. Specifically, Chandler Taylor, who had 5 hits tonight, which ties with an Alabama record. I had the opportunity to talk to him after the game, and he told me that his energy, him and Kobe Vance's energy, it's just a byproduct of them helping their team. Dogs on top, more like Tide on top. There's no better way to come out with a win on senior night in the last regular season home meet than a good old-fashioned Alabama win in Coleman Coliseum.